All right, this is just a quick kind of update episode. I've been gone a weekend. Uh, Went on a little vacation, and I'm still working on this rear end. So I haven't really had anything really too much to update anybody on. So I haven't made a video, but I figured I'd make one real quick since it has been a couple weeks, and I guess just kind of talk about an update here. So I've cleaned up the e-brake system. It's still a little dirty looks wise, but all the built up mud is gone. This is kind of just the stuff embedded. And then I've pulled the bearings. There's the wheel bearings seal. I've pulled those. Ran some rags through there using a broom to get that nice and clean. So axle tubes are nice and clean, ready to be reassembled. You can see the carrier over there, or E-lock or differential, depending on whatever you want to call it. You can see I have a shim stack on top. There's one on the bottom too. I have that. You can see my grease markings there. I have the shims ready pretty much for a final assembly. The whole reason I'm kind of not getting anywhere is I cannot get this freaking pinion for the life of me to tighten. So as you can see, I'm still loose. I'm trying to crank it down to start crushing the crush washer so I can get the bearings to kind of seat and then start taking some readings with the beam torque wrench. But I cannot get this damn thing to tighten. I get it to tighten just a tiny bit, and then it gets to a point where no matter what I do, breaker bars, you can see I was using this, actually broke the end of it. You can see my socket wrench there. That is actually the spot where you put the socket, so I've actually broke that so far. I'm just kind of running out of ideas here. I'm gonna have to go get another 1/2-inch drive. I've broke the gears in another one, so I am out of 1/2-inch drive. This is my other one. The gearing is just, you can see how loose that is, so I'll go get another one and I guess continue this tomorrow. But I've got all the shims in spec. I have the backlash in spec. Pattern's pretty good. I mean, I'd like it to be a little better, but gotta probably dismantle this thing about 6 times just to get it to where I'm at now. And according to Nitro's patterns, I have a good pattern. So I'm going to call it good, and I'm going to put it back together and try to button this thing up once I can get this damn pinion tight and to spec, and then wrap this up. I'm going to wait to install the leafs. I do have a set of Devers sitting in the house. I'm going to do those when I have done with the Regear, and I can flip this around. I want to have the rear towards the outside part of the garage to do that, because it's a lot easier, because I don't have this parking block in the way that I can run a jack underneath to drop the rear, and I have the jack stands on the frame. It's a lot easier when it's down at that part. That's how I did. I haven't added a leaf in there. That's how I did it then. There's just more room to work down at this side, so I'll wait to do that until after I'm done with the Regear. I don't know if I showed this, but I did reinstall the bumper just to kind of give me a step to kind of get to stuff. Nothing really has happened here. I haven't started the truck in a while. probably in about 3 weeks, but I don't have anything connected. I have the belts ready to go on. I think I covered it in another video. Nothing really has gone on here. I haven't done anything with the actual swap project really at all. I've mainly been dealing with this pain in my ass. I do need to, once I get this buttoned up, hopefully soon, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to remove, that's still the factory V6 exhaust. I'm going to remove that down, and then my next plan is, once I'm done with the rear, I'm going to do the exhaust. The reason why I want to do the exhaust next is because I have to clearance it around the front differential and front drive shaft. So I want to get that all installed and welded, at least tacked, fully welded. I did get my gas cylinder finally. There it is. I don't have my other welder out here yet. That's still my flux core. But I have another welder that's going to go on this cart. That's a MIG, so I can stainless MIG the exhaust. Get that. I'd like to get that fully completed. I am going to have the tip pretty much right where this resonator is, or this additional muffler, however you want to call it. But I want to get the tip to kind of die right here. That way it's not coming out the back like this, so that I have more clearance for off-roading. So hopefully I can get that done, and then my plan right now is to try to get this done by tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. And then next weekend I can do the exhaust. If I can finish that up and I have it completed, then I'm going to remove the front differential out of the truck. So hopefully this front Regear will go a lot easier. But with that out, I can still run the truck with the exhaust on, because once I get the exhaust on and I get the O2 sensors and my wideband installed, I can run the truck and log some idle, get some idle logs together for my tuner, and he can start kind of tweaking the idle for the cam, and I can have him do that, and we could be going back and forth with tune files while I'm regearing the front. And then once I kind of get that dialed in, I get the front diff done, get that regeared, then flip this sucker around, put on the leafs, put on the sliders, and then actually we may even hold off on that until give this thing a couple of drives. I'm planning on driving it with no bumper. I'll put the headlights back in, just so I'm legal. But I'd like to drive it around a little with no wheel well liners, no bumper, just to kind of, give her a shakedown test, make sure everything's good, make sure I don't hear anything kind of rubbing or anything like that to where, I have to take stuff apart to kind of correct a few issues. So that's my plan, is to kind of drive it around, maybe, up and down the street a little bit, couple shakedown runs. And then once that's done, then we'll do the leaf springs, the sliders, put the bumper back on. Yeah, and then we can get on to actually doing the drive tuning this thing and get it all finalized and get her back on the trail. I think that's pretty much it. All I really want to go over right now. If anybody's got any tips and tricks, you can kind of see my breaker bar is actually a little bent there. But if anybody's got some tips and tricks on how to get this thing to tighten, please post it in the comments. I'm willing to try about anything right now. I've tried an impact, but I don't want to go too hard on it, and that pretty much stops at this point as well. I don't want to go too hard on it just because I don't want to end up going past the preload and then end up having to do another crush washer. I'm on my last one. I've had two of them. This is the second one. The first one I tried to pre-crush it a tad with the press and went a little bit too far. But yeah, that's kind of the update now. Wish I had more info, but like I said, I was gone for a weekend. I've had a couple weekends dealing with this, and once I get to a frustrated point like I am right now, I kind of just stop, even though it's early in the day, and I could easily spend a lot more time doing. If I could get this thing, I would reassemble this whole thing right now, but got to get the preload on the pinion first. But yeah, everything else is ready to go. I have all new bearings, new seals, all ready to be installed. I got to get this preload on this pinion. That way I can get this thing back together. But this is a pretty quick update. If anybody's got any questions, like always, just post in the comments. I'll either answer it there or cover it in another video. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.